Hi Interwilders, how are we doing? It's been a while. As you know, me and Tom are going to be doing some videos over the next couple of months for our Interwild YouTube channel, which is very exciting. And we miss it, and the only reason we've not been doing it is because our work schedules don't meet up, which is really frustrating because we've got all these really great ideas of what we want to do, where we want to go. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to film everything I do that's wildlife up until those points. So today, ladies and gents, I'm going to be doing a bit of gardening because I'm making a space just here for a lovely pond. I'm very, very excited. So I already have the pond, but I just need to do some trimming of this honeysuckle, which is on the fence here. I already made a good start a couple of days ago. Now you're probably thinking, oh, why are you cutting down the honeysuckle? And I understand, however, the honeysuckle got so thick, it was literally out to where this border is. It was this thick. Gosh, it's windy today. So what I've done is I've cut off all the top layer, but underneath is so dead because obviously no sunlight or anything's reached it. So I checked there were no nesting birds, things like that, which is really important. If there would have been any, I would have left it because it's not that important. But nothing nesting in there. I don't think anything could, it's that entangled. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off the top. What that will do as well is it'll stop things falling into the pond when it's in and making that all gross. But the honeysuckle is all alive on the other side, and by cutting that back as well, it's going to encourage new growth and for actual flowers to see the light of day, which will be really good for our pollinators. So it's not a bad thing that I'm cutting this back, okay? So yeah, so should I be unleashed on my own with an electric cutter? Probably not, but here we go. Stay tuned. So I also have my bird feeder here, and I'm just going to move that because before this was an empty space. We've actually done quite a little bit here. I did have a big wooden shed. Now that's gone because that was rotten, falling down, and I didn't need it, and I've still got this green one there to keep all my bird food in. And that wooden one was just, it was a goner basically. It was falling down and I was worried about the wind just actually knocking it down. So it did offer a bit of protection for my bird feeders, but what I'm going to do now, I have a couple of fat balls that hang in the tree here. So I'm going to move my bird feeder to just over here where it's a bit more sheltered for the birds. They'll probably feel a bit more comfortable being able to sit in the tree before coming in. You know, they're always on the lookout for predators, whether that's sparrowhawks, things like that. So I'm just going to move that over here, and hopefully the birds will be very, very happy that they've got a nice place to sit and eat their food. Told you it was windy. This is not going well. This is why I just haven't brought my proper camera out at the minute, because I thought it might blow off the tripod. So I should probably be wearing safety goggles, so please don't try this at home without the proper safety equipment. Also, apologies to anyone who actually knows how to do this. You're probably going to look at my technique and think, what the heck is she doing? But there you go, we learn, so let's get it done. Right down my top. Nice. This is going to take a while, so I will show you the end result. Okay guys, so I finished the cutting and it was actually longer than I thought. I'd started the whole process by hand because, like I said, it was all down here before you saw it. And then my dad then let me know that we had an electric one, so I took all this bit off. So as you can see, it's now all clear, but just look at the roots. Look at these vines. But you know what? They're all really green inside. So what's going to happen is that new life will come now, and this will be sort of thick with flowering plants with nothing dying underneath it, and I can keep on top of that now because when I moved it was all already out of control, so I've only really just had the time to start doing it. So I'm really pleased that that is done, and it also means that all this bit will be cleared, dug out, and I will put a pond. My plan is to put a pond right in the middle, a wildlife pond of course, and all around it is going to be wildflowers as well, and the same with this area over here. I do have rose bushes and things already planted there, so you'll see that in spring. The bird feeder, as you saw me earlier move, is now there, and I also have here a wild area too. So again, when it's summer and in full bloom, this is a crabapple tree that I got courtesy of Palmer Landscapes, and when it is in bloom it is beautiful and I really love it, and I can't wait to watch it grow and see it turn into a big strong tree. And yeah, I've got lots of wildflowers in this area too that will come up in the summer, so maybe that'll be another video that I can show you my my summer garden and how much it is benefiting wildlife. So tune into the next bit to see the pond going in. So I thought I'd show you my pond, which I'm very excited about. So this is obviously a pre-made plastic pond, ready to just go into the ground. You can see it's pretty deep, which is really good. So this is absolutely perfect for me. Don't get me wrong, I really loved making the pond that I did last year, in lockdown, sorry. I absolutely loved making that, and that was such a great project, but it was lockdown, so we didn't really have anything else to do, which is why we thought, let's make a pond. Now, I don't really have the time to do that in this garden, and I thought these pre-made ponds are absolutely perfect. So here it is. It's not massive, but it's also not tiny, so I'm hoping to get things like frogs in here, yeah, maybe newts perhaps, that would be amazing. Lots of insects, like pond skaters, things like that really. Anything that comes would be great, but it's also not just for, you know, amphibians or insects. This is really great for hedgehogs to drink out of, it's really great for birds to have a bath in and drink out of as well. It increases your garden biodiversity by quite a lot because water is an amazing source. So what I'm going to do is dig over where I trimmed all the bushes, the depth of this, because I want this to be level with the surface, and get that in. Now inside, you'll see, it's hard to see with the sunlight, let me maybe try it this way. What you'll see is lots of levels. So it's a level here, but then it goes deeper. There's lots of crevices and levels, and that's fantastic for things to stand on, to rest on, to lay eggs under, things like that. And by me putting it level, these sides mean that if, you know, unfortunately a hedgehog was to fall in, it can quite easily clamber out on its own. So it doesn't actually need a ramp because it will be level with the ground. So I think this is going to be a little bit back-breaking, but I'm very excited to get it in. What I'm also going to do is fill the bottom with some stones and pebbles, just for another little habitat of nooks and crannies for insects to get in and under. And that's also going to be a good base because I'm going to put plants in here. So pond plants, which will oxygenate the water. It'll keep it lovely and clean as well. So I'm going to bob those in, and I'm also going to get a little solar panel fountain as well. So you will see all that when it's finished, and I'm very excited to get it in. Let's go. So this is actually hard work, and I knew it would be, because this bit of land is really rocky, so I'm getting big stones. It's only a little one, but I'm hitting a lot of big stones. So I'm going to try and do my best to get past all that. I'm going to be here a while because, like I said, that pond is quite deep. So instead of boring you with the digging, I'll just show you when it's done. Let's go. After a lot of digging and hard work, the pond is in. So I'm really pleased about that. in hindsight, maybe I could have got one a little bit bigger, but I think it's fine for what it is. Ignore the mess around it at the minute. It's going to be all full of planted with wildflowers and things like that. And again, all the dead leaves were from here, so I won't be having that issue sort of next winter when they start to fall. So I'm going to give this a clean and just get all out those muddy bits. But I'm not going to fill it until tomorrow because I just need to go to the shop and buy the plants and the stones and things like that, and the fountain. So I'm going to leave it like that today. As I say, I know it looks a little bit of a mess at the minute, but it's all going to get tidied and it's going to be really nice, I think. And even the smallest of ponds can bring in wildlife. So hopefully once it's grown up a little bit round here in the next couple of years, we'll have maybe frogs and things inhabiting. So I'm really excited. So I will tune back in tomorrow when I fill it up. See you soon. So here's an update. I've decided that the more I look at the pond when it's in now, it's too small. For me personally, for the space that I've got, the pond itself is great, and it doesn't matter how small your pond is because something will live in it. For me personally though, and the space that I've got, I think I want a bigger pond. More longer, because when I was digging as well, I did find that there's a massive like old railway sleeper that's dug really deep into the ground, and I don't even know how long it goes, so there's no way I can dig that out. So it can't be too wide because otherwise it won't go below the surface there. But I have ordered a new pond and that is on the way and will arrive tomorrow. So tomorrow's plan will be see if this one is better in a bigger size. If not, I could go bigger again and put that in. That is my plan. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Oh my gosh, this is warm work. This hole is testing me. Oh. Let me show you. The hole is getting there. It's just quite a lot of work. This also doesn't make it easy right here. Let me show you. This is like a solid bit of like wood, like a sleeper. So that means I can't go too wide, which is annoying because this new pond is actually wider. But I think you can see there's like a lip on it where it's more shallow, and I think that can sit on the top of this bit of sleeper. So we'll see how we get on. But I'm going to finish this digging and let you know because I'm going to be here a while. Well, we just had a massive downpour and I've just got very, very wet. But that's okay, I persevered. And the pond is in. I'm going to show you that all. I am so much happier with that. I just think it fills the space better. So there's a little bit of space here, a little bit of space here, and that's where all my wildflowers are going. And I mean, you can't really tell, but there's my hand in it. I just think it's a really good size. Needs a wash out, and I need to now just get a filter, solar panel filter, to keep the water flowing, some plants, and I'm going to put a few stones in the bottom as well just to keep everything grounded, and some more little nooks and crannies for the insects. So all in all, very, very happy with that. And I'm also really happy, excited to do an update with you of how it looks sort of when the flowers have bloomed and there's potentially things in the pond. I'm not hoping for it, like expecting anything to go in the pond this year because it's sort of, the frogs have already spawned and things like that, but you never know, never say never. So I will tune back in tomorrow or whenever I get round to now filling the pond and getting everything in it. Yay! Exciting times, people. I've just been to the garden centre to purchase my pond plant and some stones. They're all in this trusty Percy Pig bag here. So, oh gosh, the first thing to do is wash the stones because I don't want them clouding up the pond. And they're proper pond stones, so they will soon sort of clear after a couple of washes. So I'm going to do that. I'd also like to welcome you to day 3 of stupidly windy weather, But it is getting milder, 16 degrees apparently today. Who knows what is happening with the weather. So I'm going to give the pond a little bit of a clear out. Some leaves and mud and stuff have blown in since doing it. I put this bark here as well because this is quite heavy and doesn't blow in, and also stops soil and things blowing in. So I'm going to just clear this up now and get the stones soaking. Be able to fill. I'm excited. Let's go. Well, that's the state of the cloth. So yeah. I'm washing the stones. As you can see, this is just like a cloudy, milky coloured water. So if I had to put those stones straight into the pond, that's what the water would have looked like. So I just need to give it a mix around and give it a couple of swills out and things. And then once the water starts getting a bit clearer, then it's good to go for in the pond. So as you can now see, after a couple of washes, the water is now pretty much clear. There's only a slight bit of sort of milkiness, but that's just always going to be when I put it in and before it settles and the plants get to work, it's going to be like that. So now it's to carry these stones out of the water over there and put them in. Okay, next up I've got some plants. So I've got some oxygenators here, because this is purely a wildlife pond. I need a lot of oxygenators in here. So rip this open. And this is just a little bit of weed here, and this grows really long. And this is going to be great, so I'm going to put this in the bottom. Just cover that over with some stones. And then I've got some things in pots here as well. So if you've got like not a massive pond like mine, if you keep them in the pots, they're not going to go out of control. So here I've got a yellow water iris, and I think this is going to look really pretty in there. So these grow quite tall, so I'm going to put these towards the back of the pond, and that'll be brilliant. So because they're quite tall, these can sit on the bottom. Again, the pond is quite deep. So I've levelled that off a bit again, and that's in there. And finally, I got some marsh marigolds. Now these need to go on a shelf because they don't grow as tall. So the little shelves in the pond are great. So I think I'm going to put this in the back right corner. Get it how I want it. Or maybe there. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I've got 3 plants for now, and I'm actually going to be topping them up more and more. And I can take some cuttings from my mum's water lilies as well. So all that's left to do now is fill it up, and the fountain will also be here soon, and I'll be able to do that too. So let's get it filled. Also, please don't mind the hose pipe. It has just broken, so I'm having to deal with what I can. So it might take a while to fill up, but here we go. Okay, you guys, the struggle is real with this hose pipe, but my filter has just arrived, so that can go in. So I went for a solar panel. Oh, this wind. Went for a solar panel filter so that it'll just tick away. This hose pipe is not great. It's getting punctures left, right and centre. As long as it can hold out filling the pond, I will be happy. I don't think it'll take too long. So I'm going to suss out this filter with all its lovely attachments. Oh my gosh, it already looks like a water feature with the way it's snapped. It's cool, team, we'll go with it. And let's figure out the filter. Okay, ladies and gents, here is the pond. So the plants are in there, as you can see. They're obviously going to grow. And like I said, hopefully I'll get some lilies on top. It was clearer than I expected, so I'm really pleased with that. And at the minute the fountain is causing me some trouble, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But that is it. That is the finished pond. I'll touch base in a couple of months to show how it's developing. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I've really enjoyed this project, albeit a bit stressful with the first pond not being right, the digging, blah blah blah. But that's what it's about. It's all about the climb. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys are doing in your gardens for wildlife. Speak soon.